What it do? Welcome to Club 32, the Gridiron Podcast, the People's Podcast, where we keep it real, no fluff, no filters. I'm your host, Ron, got my co-host, Jordan, got my cousin Mike in here with me, and we came back to recap the matchup between the Los Angeles Rams and the Carolina Panthers. Final score, Rams edging it out 34-31. Look, in a classic back and forth, all right? From the opening, veteran Matthew Stafford orchestrated the decisive drive with just 38 seconds remaining, okay? Connected with Kobe Parkinson for the 19-yard touchdown that propelled the Rams past Carolina 34-31. Okay, Stafford's poise and timing on the final possession stood sharp. We know how Stafford get down. Contrast to the erratic swings earlier that really wasn't working out because he started out 8 for 8. Then after that, he was 2 for 7. It was getting crazy. We didn't understand what was going on, but his career playoff leadership did what it had to do, was on full display, and that's when it mattered the most. Look, we're going to dive into it, get into all that and more. But before we do, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you can stay in the loop with Club 32. Let's get into it. Hey, look, honestly, right into it, like you said, bro, shout out to Bryce Young. Like, we honestly going to have to give him a round of applause because, he's been through a lot. Looking at how his, it hasn't been the worst, but he hasn't had the best start to his career as you would ideally want to have. And honestly, most organizations don't have the amount of patience that they had with Bryce Young. So we want to give him that, being able to pull through, stay resilient, show up, get to the postseason, and take your time there. And not only take your team there, but also be competitive. Even when it looked like it wasn't supposed to be where it was at, you found a way to make it way, and let's do that. You know what I'm saying? He didn't just fall down, behind the 14-0 league. No. Him and, the company, McMillan, Coca out there, they were making it happen. Chuba Hubbard. I mean, everybody was out there doing what they needed to do as a unit to try to pull it off. I mean, unfortunately, it didn't happen, but they did build momentum through a lot of smart run plays and timely throws, ultimately taking the lead late in the fourth quarter, giving themselves a chance, ultimately almost pulling off that upset. But, it was a lot of momentum swings back and forth throughout the game, honestly. And even when we talk about that block punt field, because that was one. But, honestly, Carolina's defense enforced critical stops, and, outside the block punt, they set up their go-ahead score. The Rams' ability to respond, punishing mistakes with explosive offensive answers, underscored the importance of resilience in playoff football. Now, fellas, as we get into this, I want to know. Look, I'm gonna let the guests go first. You come to the house, hanging out in the club. We're gonna let the guests go first. But no, we comfortable. But no. But you saw the game. Just starting off in general, what was your just general takeaway from the game? If just giving it a general aspect, like what was your general takeaway?
My general take is just how impressed I was with Bryce in this playoff game. Because, like you said, it wasn't looking good last year. He getting benched.
Yeah.
The coaching changes that he's had in Carolina, it's been up and down. And not only that, I mean, being the quarterback of his stature, being short, not like a tall, typical quarterback in NFL, being under 6 foot, the challenges that come with that is real hard to be to take a franchise to the next level, like that. There's not a lot of trust in quarterbacks of his stature to do that. So for him to come out this game, his first playoff game, against the Rams, who I consider a Super Bowl favorite. I considered them a Super Bowl favorite the beginning of the year, very beginning of the year. I thought it was pretty impressive. Plus, it was a perfect situation, really, for Carolina to begin with because, they're at home, they're double digit underdogs, and they had nothing to lose, you know. And so, like you said in the beginning, Shout out to Bryce Young. He balled out, and he can only go but up from here. So they keep
You were
building
hungry.
around him, keep improving the defense, and
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna be all right.
He'll be all right. You know, I honestly think that's honestly, I'm gonna say it now. I'm gonna keep saying it. That's gonna be one of the tougher divisions to
Yeah,
face next year. When you see how Tyler Shuck plugging up, and you see the potential of like the Rams, I mean the Falcons defense, and you know they got a potent offense. It's just I'm saying potent is inconsistent, but they do have it when they can get it going. They have the pieces.
yeah,
Better than I mean we cannot beat John Robinson. I mean you know, and I mean we look at what the Panthers are doing, and we
yeah,
know who the Bucks are. This just won't their year. When you
yeah.
put really, that's gonna be a tough division.
It's
You
like
know, huh?
everybody's the same. Everybody's the same in that division. I mean, we criticize like I don't think Raheem Morris should have been fired. I think he should have, they should have
No.
stuck with him. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that division is a competitive division.
It is.
Historically, is every team is not that division is not going to get 10 or more wins consistently every year. It's almost like the NFC East. There's going to be
Yeah.
somebody different every year within that division that's going to show out. And I think the beginning of the year the expectation was for Atlanta, to advance, but Carolina, man, they played their butts off, and
Yeah.
I mean they won the game. They beat and they upset some really good teams throughout the season,
Mm-hmm.
They did.
including the Rams.
Moving
Prior
around.
to this game. So, um, I mean, Panthers, they fought their way in there, so they won the division.
Kudos to Bryce Young. We might have to just give him an honorable mention on a little, 5-minute segment, man. Just talk
Shit,
about the
you got
Giant,
to.
but Mr. Fly High.
Yeah, you gotta
Talk
you
to
gotta get that man some recognition, but I ain't gonna lie. Man, what's going on with them receivers, man? The pass catch. Y'all in the playoff drop pass and y'all home?
so who let me
And
see.
they said from the stadium to outside. I got a cousin that stay in Charlotte. She didn't go
Yeah,
to the game, but she rode by, you know what I'm saying, going to get some food and whatnot. She said it packed that day. It was packed that day.
yeah,
All them Panthers fans came out.
yeah,
I mean, hey, take it back to the drawing board, but
yeah,
y'all was this close. Just know
yeah,
y'all was this close. This
yeah,
close. One catch away.
yeah.
This close.
And you're right about the fans too, because I mean, last year, of course, it was a bad year, and there wasn't a
Mm-hmm.
whole lot of fans out there. But man, I'm telling you, Charlotte, they are prime, they are ready. You know
Oh,
what I'm
yeah.
saying, to take that next step.
Yeah.
uh Fan base wise, and Charlotte is a good city, a great city, good fan base, good football town. Um, they had Cam Newton, I believe, out there,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, it was loud. It was loud. They were trending on Twitter about how loud it was in Charlotte. So yeah, fans, they showed up. Shout out to them
Yeah, they
also.
will. They will.
Nobody
I got
left either. Nobody
no.
left. Even after the game. They
No,
stayed, wait till the player walked up. Nobody left.
Yeah.
is it? But you know what? I was sitting over here looking, some stuff to pull up what you were saying about the receivers. Okay,
Mm,
so I'm gonna keep it brief. I ain't gonna get too deep, but from what I'm seeing, just real fast on this score. So, because I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? Like Coker went 9 for 134 and one. Like
yeah.
McMillan 89 and I'm like, but then I get down and then I'm like, ho. And when you get that skirt, you know what I mean? Like, hold on, I see something. So what I started noticing, so all right, so I'm gonna just say that name. You gotta give them their credit. Coker, McMillan, Trimble, and Hubbard. Leggett got targeted 4 times but only caught one. Even Dowdle was 2 for, but then the other one, Mitchell, Evans, Horn, and tremendous. They all got targeted a total of 5 times collectively, but no one caught anything. So then you go back to Bryce Young, and he 21 to 40. The other ones didn't do it either. I mean, that's almost half. It's crazy. I mean, you just throwing them 21 to 40. That's 51%. But you got stuff to work on. He got them there. But I can see what, because then, okay, Matthew Stafford, 24-42. A little bit over, a little bit less, but everybody's catching everything. I mean, the only people where it was Puka, and he was feeding Puka and Adams. Adams had 13 targets for 5 catches. That's a lot of misses. That's 8 misses. Regardless of who do it. And then Puka had 18 targets for 10 catches. That's 16 misses. Everybody else pretty much caught everything -1, maybe 3 and 2, short 2, like Tyler Higbee, Kobe Parkinson got targeted 3 times, caught 2. But it was more consistent. It was more locked in. And it just looked worse on him, even though they won, but he was force feeding his top 2 receivers. And that's what they show you.
They had some drops too, though. The Rams, man, they're playing, man, they dropped some balls. Puka dropped a wide open one. Right down the sideline. Devontae had some uncharacteristic drops in this game. And I mean, the Rams, Stafford, they started off real hot in the first quarter. And then I think for a period, he went for like 2 for 8. He was like 2 for 8, wasn't getting nothing done. I mean, the one thing,
8 before that.
I mean, if anything, I guess you could say for both the Rams and the Panthers, they probably could have ran the ball more, either one. I mean, they were, the commentary was pretty much how is Carolina still in this game, based off of how the Rams were playing.
True. A lot of,
And,
that was some real shit though.
Look, it's but you know what? Okay, so like this, so I'm looking right here at like the box score, right? And like what you said, the Rams, they didn't come back out of halftime proper. So when you look at the first quarter, okay, so it's up 7-0, Rams with, right? And then second quarter, what is up? They get a field goal, so it's 10-0, Rams with, right? All right, so 10-3. All right, so so it's 17 donut. They got 7 points in the first quarter, 10 points in the second quarter. So they up 17-0 going into the half. All right. They come back out third quarter, only scored 3 points. Panthers score 14, and then they do the exact opposite on each other in the fourth. The Rams score 14, and Panthers score 3. I mean, it's just you gotta come out better than that. Hold on, you know what?
Last catch.
Yeah.
Hold on, you know what? I'm sorry.
That stopped the Panthers from getting to 10.
I'm lying. Scratch that. Hold on, I gotta correct myself. I'm lying. My margin was offset. I'm lying to you. No. In the first quarter, the Rams 7-0 to the Panthers. In the second quarter, the Rams got 17, but the Panthers did get 14. Remember, they went into halftime. They was close. They ain't going to halftime 0. That's what I said. And then they both was 3 for 3 in the third, and both scored 14 in the fourth. So they came out even and matched each other consistency coming out. So now it was offset. I was just reading the numbers. But I caught my error, so I had to correct it. But yeah, no. Went into the half, 17-14, like, oh, we almost there. Come back out, 3-3 in the third. Nobody scored no more than 6 points scored in the third quarter, and they both scored a collective of 28, 14 apiece in the fourth, making it 34-31. But yeah, I just had to correct that. I didn't want to go into that. But no, that show. But think about that. Look at that. Y'all put up the same. The Panthers came out after halftime and made the Rams match them, even if they lost. They both scored 3 points in the third quarter. They both scored 14 in the fourth. What?
And the Panthers had a lot of hurt players too.
Got me up 17 donut in the second. Come on, and it's the highlights. It's the highlights to build off of. Hey, it is what it is. And like I was telling the guy, the Panther fan, the guy I know, it was on. I was like, look, Because he was like, I don't just want just get in the playoffs and be out, and I'd rather us be in there and have like a run, like actually be. And I'm like, I get that, I get it, but you building. As long as you can build around that and be consistent, see the narrative in a few years and be like, oh, Bryce Young has been to the playoffs the last 2-3 years, last 3 out of 4 years. Like, people don't really care how you got out of it. When they put on your resume, it just looks better. And so, you want that team. Oh, the Panthers been to the playoffs the last 3 out of 4 years instead of you having a good year. And then, because I asked him, I said, when the last time I've been to the playoffs? And, I think it was, if y'all correct me, it was Cam Newton, right?
Yeah.
2015 when they went. So look, it was 10 years ago. So would you just have a magical run and then not come back for another 10 years? Or would you rather just build around what you got? You did punch the ticket, build on that, come back and be better, because it's not like y'all bad. We see y'all. If you do this offseason and draft correctly, y'all can be a formidable opponent going into 26. And so
that'll be
focus
the
on
next
that.
step.
It's there. It's there. Yeah. And
That'll be the next step for Bryce, really. I mean, for his second contract, because I know that's coming up. The Panthers going to have to make a decision whether to pay him or not, And
that's something
so it'll be interesting to see, how they draft, or if they go after, another veteran or somebody, would have a QB competition
What do you think they
going
need?
in the next year. But I mean, I think they're going to stick with Bryce. But the next thing will be just the consistency, and just building off of it.
But like, what do you think they need though? Like, what do they?
I think they
If
just.
it was up to you, where would you build that? Where would you invest that on that team?
I think I would invest really in the defense. For all I've known with Carolina, they've always had a tough defense. Luke Kuechly was the guy, that kind of set the tone and set the culture. And so I would just continue to build off the defense, because defense in the playoff games like these are going to win you games. And it's going to be how you, as a quarterback, manage the game in the playoffs. And I mean, the only thing I could really, I guess, fault the Rams for is just that protection of Bryce. Bryce got hit too many times during this game, and I don't think they ran the ball enough. They only ran the ball 19 times, 18 times between their running backs. I mean, that's really not enough. Dowdle, who's had a phenomenal year, only ran 5 times for 9 yards. That's an atrocity. I mean, that's dumb. He's been your bell cow. He's been your workhorse pretty much the whole year, and he only gets 5 carries for 9 yards. Cooper Hubbard, I mean, 13 carries, 46 yards. Bryce Young is mobile. I mean, he ran the ball, scrambling for a few, but they just need to get back to working on building on Bryce Young's strengths, building the offensive line, and improving the defense, and running the ball. I mean, when they had D'Angelo and Jonathan Stewart, they had them running the ball. Even with Cam Newton, they ran the ball the majority of the time. It wasn't always, built off wide receivers. Now they have wide receivers, that are capable of catching the ball. Maybe they get a draft a solid tight end or whatever, a threat tight end. But yeah, just build off the offensive line, but start with defense. Continue to build off your defense, because you're gonna need that to slow down Bajan and the Buccaneers and whoever New Orleans gonna throw at you.
Yeah, but they got Kellen Moore over there. Don't sleep on Kellen. You know what Kellen do?
Yeah.
He's gonna make something happen. He is one. He is a great offensive coordinator. But yeah, like you said, everything you said, like they got They really have to work on it. Like that was just what I was saying. It really is going to hinge on how it's like, okay, we see y'all. So now, like every team gets the shot to make the improvements. Like it's all about how they hit free agency and how they handle the draft. Honestly, that's where we at right now. But we are going to cover a lot of dependent free agents because we know some people leave. We'll look at some of the contracts, and we're actually going to evaluate this year's 25 rookie class on future episodes coming up in a bit. But yeah, we're gonna cover all that. But you're not right about that. Like, if do you agree? Would you add or take away from anything that he said, Jordan? If you were to invest in the team in any way to improve them going into the offseason?
Nah, I mean, definitely gotta protect my man. Y'all see little man back there. That's your little brother, literally. Literally, that's your little brother. You gotta protect little brother. Like, come on now, tripping. And that defense, yeah, the pass catchers they can work on that. They can work on that, but you gotta spread that ball out more. Yeah, I know you got two main people. Now I'm saying that you know for sure they gonna get the ball, but if they double team, then you gotta throw to these other ones, and you don't really know if they gonna catch the ball. You might be a little hesitant when you throw it. You might throw it in another direction you ain't trying to throw it to, and you gotta work on that.
Oh, yeah,
But
no.
definitely some defense.
There was
Definitely.
one drive, honestly, even on the offense though, he seemed like he was just throwing the ball away. I don't know if it was the pressure from the Rams, but he was just bombing it. It was really like no one like there.
Threw that
Nah,
motherfucker 40 times. I know it's on
he
time.
got hit. I
When I'm
don't
talking about
know.
Bryce
You,
Young only. Oh, no, you're right. He did throw it 42. My bad. I'm thinking
I
both of them did.
know it's
One at
on.
42. Okay. You know what I noticed though? Because we're gonna keep giving Bryce Young some of his credit. Look. My cousin. He said what he said. He had them beginning before we see early. He been had the Rams going there. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he's right about that. But I'm not taking nothing away from them. But I don't think a wild card victory celebration from the Rams is nothing too far fetched for what people would expect them to
yeah,
do. Is
I
they
mean,
getting ready for?
yeah, the Rams like the beginning of the year. I'll put it like this: beginning of the year, I had the Rams and Green Bay. These are my final four, right? I had the
Okay.
Rams, Green Bay, Denver, and then Buffalo. Those are my final four.
Okay.
But I thought the Rams would be a whole lot better defensively than what they've
Mm,
shown this year.
yeah, I can agree
And
with that.
so I mean, their front seven is all right, but their secondary needs some help.
It does.
The
It
Rams
does.
secondary needs some help.
It does. It does. It does. That's some
So I
definitely.
mean, we already know what happened to Green Bay. So
We
and I
definitely
mean, I
know.
picked Green Bay before Parsons was even in there, but we'll talk about Green Bay later though.
Yeah. Yeah. When we look at some of the like comparing some of the team stats, like it's eerily similar though. And that's what you gotta take pride on. Like, and that's why I said earlier, like, the further the Rams go, the better. Because if you beat or lost, so when you look at these numbers, it's like they'll be compared to whoever the Rams end up being, you know. So if they end up, let's say they did take it off. Well, okay. Running down the statistics in total yards, the Rams had 392 to the Panthers 364. It's not far off. Passing yards 304 to 264. It's not far off. Rushing yards 88 to 100. And the
Yeah,
Panthers had the 100. Not far off. First downs. Rams 22 to the Panthers 20. You picking up first downs like that? That's a good not far off. Both had
yeah,
a turnover. Time of possession 30 minutes and 18 seconds to 29 minutes and 42 seconds. I don't know if there's maybe barely 30-second difference. A little low, like so. That's what I'm saying. If I'm the we did that against, like I say, whoever the Rams end up being.
Yeah.
That's how you build off of that, and that's fine. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, look, man. Like you said, it's cool. Chuba Hubbard outran Kyron Williams. Okay.
Yeah.
Jalen Coker out received Puka Nacua. Puka Nacua had 10 receptions for 111 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had an extra touchdown. Jalen Coker had 9 receptions, 1 less reception for 134 yards.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think too, you know, with the stats of this game, this is where really coaching matters too. Because, you know, some coaches like to get cute, you know what I'm saying? They go through the whole season, and then for some reason in the playoffs, even though their coaching does matter, but they coach completely different. It seems like, you know, completely different, you know, during the playoff. And I understand, you know, you do have to coach a little different sometimes. You know, you got to take risks, things like that. You may go for it when you normally wouldn't during the regular season because everything's on the line. But it seemed like offensive minded coaches that may run the ball more during the season, all of a sudden abandon that game plan during the playoff. Then you know, like the Rams, then you know at first, Kyron Williams throughout the season he'll you know get 100 yards a carry, whatever, 80 plus yards a carry per game, and then in the playoffs, you know he might get a couple. And I mean, I don't want to go off too off subject, but a perfect example of that would be, you know, how the Ravens play, with how they handle Derrick Henry. You know, first they run him, then in the playoffs, it's like where he at, or you know, why don't he give him the ball? Why don't you run the ball? It's like in the playoffs, be the same way. You know, you got Puka and you got Devontae. And those are two sexy wide receivers on both ends. Both of them look real nice and pretty. Real nice and pretty. But then when you really need to run the ball, you know, Sean McVay being the offensive guru that he is, it you know, it evens itself out. And so kudos to Carolina, because I mean they were underdogs, you know, double digit underdogs. And they played like they had nothing to lose. And credit to them, you know, of course, in the playoffs, it don't matter. It's anybody's ball game. They're at home in their element, and they put up a good fight. It was a good game. Stafford came back that final drive, and it was like, you know, they scored that touchdown. Carolina scored that touchdown. Stafford came right out the gate, just slanging that thing all over the place, and like an MVP, you know.
Exactly. I mean, that's experience versus the youth. I mean, that's what it is.
That's exactly what it was.
That's all. I get there. They will definitely get there. You know, honestly, like you said, I mean, the Rams' offense, I mean, it's still elite. Like you said, the defense they got to tighten up. They have to. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the fact that they were able to produce explosive plays like we know they do, I mean, it kept them competitive throughout. When we talk about the Rams, you know. But when you look at Carolina's, you know, when they were able to come out in the second half and have that type of efficient scoring, I mean, it really showed how the Rams' defensive adjustments will be a focal point as they prepare for tougher divisional opponents moving forward.
Yeah.
Something to consider, honestly. You know what I'm saying? They're able to balance their offensive firepower with, you know, a lot of these critical stops when they need to, and they're not allowing these drives to continue to sustain themselves. Then they'll put themselves in a better position moving forward. But it's definitely, like you said, something to keep an eye on because, I mean, it's only going to get harder from here.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of, I don't want to say it kind of worries you to see it like, I mean, because you can look at it on the other side and say, well, goodness, the Rams struggled against Carolina. But so you don't know how to look at it. It's like you praise up Carolina as a good team, but if the Rams are that team, should they have struggled against them? Especially when they say it's hard to beat a team twice in the season. Looks like it almost happened.
Yeah.
For real.
It comes down to defense.
It does. That's why they say offense wins games, defense wins championships. Y'all know what it is, bro. Y'all know. Fly high.
Yep.
Tap in, bro. Let me see. So we're looking at the NFC playoff landscape. I got to bring you in, Mr. Reigning Champion, if you would. Give you the fingertips. But no, when you look at the NFC bracket, you know what I'm saying? You can kind of see how this, kind of know who one team out right now and somebody else. So the Rams still alive. Seattle coming in, and y'all play San Fran, of course. So this is it's a lot of pieces starting to move, and of course, by Monday, a lot of more would have been, moved indefinitely. But it seemed like the road to the NFC Championship, will really need whoever's going to get there to be consistent and disciplined to really be able to make a march. Do you think the Rams will be able to build that within themselves to be a problem for their next matchup, whoever that may be? It's a two-part question. I'm gonna let you answer that, and then I got a second part too.
I'm gonna have to say yes and no.
Okay.
I'm gonna say yes. They're gonna have to prepare themselves if they have to face the Seahawks, and but if they got to go up against the Bears, they were kind of in the same situation that Chicago was with the Packers, and I hate to say it, the Panthers. Not saying that they two trash teams, but with how everybody was talking about both of these teams over the years, Packers right here, the Bears right here, but today's game, it was like this until it came like this in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
the tail to the tail. They can be good teams. They're just not playoff teams or playoff ready. Oh, it's a different resilience of winning in the playoffs. It's a different discipline level. Because you can lose in the season and still come out on top. You can't lose nothing in the playoffs. It's it.
one and done. One and done. You got one chance. One chance.
With one lifeline. This is it. This is for all the marbles. Every day. Like, you got to go for all the marbles every time, at least 3 or 4 times. That's crazy. That's crazy pressure. This is it. It's done. This is it. We're going home. You win or go on vacation. Choice is yours. But nonetheless, it's just But yeah, look, I think this is this is the second part. Okay, since you want to be all camera panning and stuff like that. So that was part of my question. If you were to face them in the playoffs, how do you feel? Worried, nervous? Think it'd be competitive? Think it'd be a landslide? Like, how do you think the matchup? Yeah, yes, you sir. Yeah, camera panning.
All right. I'll say the same thing I said before on the last stream. I am not worried. Especially after what I seen today.
Y'all played them this year, right?
Yep.
And y'all beat them.
Mm-hmm. Without the defense that we have now.
And Carolina played them this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they beat them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, we'll see. C'est la vie, man. Hey, I don't know. Well, hey, such is life, It is what it is. But, any final thoughts y'all want to throw out here before we wrap this thing up?
Go Birds.
This guy, man. Hey, tighten up.
Hey, that was good.
Yeah, but look, man. Hey, look, we know what it was, man. This was a good game, and I really enjoyed it. And I think a lot of people did too. Of course, you always want your team to win, but that's not always the case. It's always a 50-50 split, no matter how they battle out, because there's only two going in. And we've seen Matthew Stafford do what Matthew Stafford does.
Yeah.
He delivered it. It counted the most,
Yeah, I think he's runaway MVP.
He
Or do you
was the
think
heavy
Drake May
favorite
is
prior to
creeping
losing
up
to
there?
the Falcons. I remember that. I remember he was the heavy favorite prior to losing to the Falcons, and a lot of people were switching, and the conversation started switching towards Drake May a little more. So I'm not sure. I really didn't check into it prior to this, but my recent check into that was the case. So this might have put him back in a different position, but we'll know. We'll see. But that was the narrative around it. Bringing it up, who would you all, if you had your vote, who would you cast it on for MVP? If whoever would go fit on that. At this point in the season, let's say we're here, like this is all we have. We don't just as of today's date, because we don't know but yeah. What would you be if you was a ballot voter? So.
If I was to go with the most valuable player to the team, no lie, and I don't even think he's been talked about a whole lot,
Okay.
but I would go with Josh Allen.
In the beginning of the season, he had a lot of traction. A lot of them losses that they took and the inability to separate themselves from certain teams hurt the narrative around him. But I'm not opposed to it, though. I'm not opposed to what you're saying. Because, I don't know. When you look at it, what's Josh Allen's biggest problem in the playoffs? It's always been Mahomes. You ain't got no Mahomes, no Jackson, no Barrow. I mean, we got formidable opponents. I'm not down in other people, but you supposed to be big. Like we just was talking about, we play. Performance matters, absolutely. Defense wins championships for sure. But we talking about experience, baby. You, Josh Allen, this your big house. Who the team here? What we talking about? Huh?
Old man Rodgers.
Outside of Aaron Rodgers, what we talking about, bro?
You got Sunshine, Harry Potter, and goddamn Ash Ketchum from goddamn Pokemon. That's who you got to face, Josh Allen. That's who you got to face. I'm going to let y'all figure out who Harry Potter and Ash Ketchum is. Use your minds. So.
Hey, look, bro. This is what we going to do. Let's give a round of applause to the Panthers. Kudos to you all. And look, big ups to the Rams. Do you? Let's see how far you take it. Let's see how bad you want it, man. Will we be talking about you in February? That's the question. I don't know. We just regular guys who just sit around and just talk about the game. You can come on here and do the same. That's all you got to do. But look, that's another one in the books from Club 32. Whether you cheered or you choked this season, this weekend, what have you, we just come do what we do. We break it down the only way we know how. We just try to keep it real, raw, no fluff, no filters. We want to thank you for coming through and rocking out with the crew at Club 32. I'm sorry. But we just fans to talk about the game. And like I said, you're welcome to come on here and do the same. We encourage you to do so. And if you want to get on the show, all you got to do is email us at club32gp@gmail.com. Subject line, Club 32 guests. Make sure to follow us on all social platforms, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, so you can stay connected with the club for all of our NFL breakdowns and for your chance to be a guest on the show and represent your squad the way that they're meant to be represented. But until next time, it's been real, and good luck with your team, because we're going to talk about them too. Appreciate you. Safe. We out.